Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you were here. Today we're talking because I want to talk about a preview clip that is going to be for this next episode involving the girls' trip. So there were a couple of clips that have dropped, you guys. A clip that it dropped yesterday was kind of like an intro to the girls' trip of, you know, Mel coming in with like these female dancers, of course, and they're all in like, they were dressed like in carnival attire and all the things. And then some of the ladies, like Stormy, did not look interested. But then once the dancers started to pull Stormy in, then she started to loosen up a little bit. Letitia was like sitting there kind of just like taking everything all in. And then once Mel came in and started passing out gifts, then all of a sudden everybody started perking up, you guys. Make it make sense. These same people who bash her behind her back, but if money and gifts are going to be had, now all of a sudden, you know, I can't do the fake stuff. But nonetheless, a man came in and Mel was like, well, can you move your hips and stuff too or whatever? And so then they start dancing and then the ladies start freaking out. And at this point from the footage, we don't see Destiny yet. And then the other clip I wanted to speak on was the clip that played at the end of the episode for the preview. And guess whose voice they used to introduce on the next Love and Marriage Huntsville? None other than Marty Moore, you guys. Can we stop it? Can we stop it? It's just like how I don't know if this happens on your guys' like streaming platforms for music. Like whenever I listen to Apple Music, say I listen to like a Rihanna song, they play like Chris Brown right after. If I'm like doing like a shuffle or whatever, or an autoplay, and it's like so aggravating. Or if I'm like listening to Usher and they'll throw in like a TLC song after, and I'm like, you guys, like stop it. But nonetheless, you know, the other clip that came in was the vacation rooms and how the vacation rooms are going to be set up. And actually it was giving me a reminiscent of Real Housewives on Bravo, whether it's New York, whether it's Atlanta, wherever. Remember, they would always make a big deal about who got the biggest room, who had a single room, who had to share a room, who had a room that didn't have an attached bathroom, or who had a room that was the farthest away. And sometimes whoever the quote-unquote host was would pre-assign rooms. Sometimes they would have a drawing. Sometimes it was like first come, first serve, and people were like slamming the door on other people. And it all just depended, right? Well, in this case, Mel had already pre-assigned the rooms and put little cards on each of the beds. And so apparently it sounded like Letitia and KIMMI are going to be sharing a bathroom. And it sounded like SUNNI had her own room because there was like a comment made about it or whatever. And then also in the clip, you know, when SUNNI like says hi to the ladies, it shows KIMMI in the confessional saying, "Oh, I didn't know SUNNI was gonna be here," and we're gonna circle back to that in a moment because the irony of it all. So with that being said, also, SUNNI, she comes up to Mel and she's like, I don't think some people are happy about the room assignments or whatever, and heard some commentary, and Mel's got like this little mischievous look on her face because she knew that these people were going to be, you know, in their feelings. And so then NELL is like turned up, you guys, like turned up for real, and is like, you know, y'all need to suck it up, and I'm sandwiched in between all of y'all in the room, and all this is, and I don't know what this is all about, and which one of y'all said something about fighting, because I'll whoop some bleep. And then KIMMI from like across the way is like, well, my bleep is right here. And then the final clip is Mel and Tisha, you know, outside and discussing, you know, Mel is like, you know, this is our first girls trip. We need to have, you know, a good time. We need to do this right and this and that. And Letitia is kind of like reluctantly like, yeah, okay. or whatever. But I wanted to circle back on a couple of things. One, Kimmi and whoever else pretending to be shocked that Sunny was going to be on this trip, knowing daggone well y'all invited Destiny to be messy as well. Like I hate when people do this and they pretend that they do not know how reality TV works, and I don't understand why people are acting especially oblivious as to considering the fact that Sunny is a former producer. So you guys know how this works. You guys know whether it's a party or a vacation or an event, that there's always uninvited guests that show up. Whether it's Letitia at Mel's Embrace event that she had to be escorted out of security, whether it's Martell showing up unannounced to the kid's birthday party, and all of these things. And you know, we know this, right? We know that's how reality TV works. But everybody technically is invited, right? But that's the whole point, to start drama to cause mess, because obviously we know Sunny and Destiny aren't featuring each other, right? But nonetheless, I'm gonna need Kimmi to do a better acting job. But it's funny as well, all of this chaos, because people are now trying to come for Mel for supporting Sunny, but Kimmi supporting Destiny and told Destiny she was never going to like her, she was never going to see it for her, because she felt that Destiny was trying to buy their friendship. But now, to get back into Tisha's good graces, you're going to be part of the invite crew to Destiny to this, girls trip, even though you previously were just out to eat with Sunny and Moses and discussing them moving to Huntsville permanently. So it's so funny, because I never understand how Kimmi gets away with so much. She honestly is not a friend to anybody as well. She shades everybody. She drags all these people, but nobody calls it out. Nobody clocks Kimmi's messiness. And she's messy with everybody, and she's willing to get buck with anyone. We saw her get, she was willing to get buck and go there with Letitia's mom. She was willing to get buck with Tisha. She was willing to get buck with all these people, with Destiny, with all of these people in this cast. And nobody talks about Kimmi ever being messy, ever not being a good friend, her telling Tisha, what was that, like the season 2 or season 3 reunion, where she was like, listen, if we weren't married to, these brothers, I wouldn't even be featuring you. We wouldn't be friends, but I have to be around you. And nobody clocked it. Nobody saw it for what it was. That basically Kimmi is saying, I'm tolerating you. I am tolerating you. I want no parts of this Scott Manor nonsense. I don't want to be in the same, subdivision as you even. Outside of whatever family gatherings, I don't want to be with you. But it's so crazy, because it's like now everybody has to be in line. Everybody has to be in an alliance. Everybody has to choose a side, and it's just exhausting, right? The show was at its best when everybody was interacting. When Carlos King, plays favorites early on and wants his favorites to do what he wants them to do, it ruins the chemistry of the show. And then furthermore, like I said, these people get egos, these people get jealous of who has the larger followings, who has the larger fan bases, who has the larger supporters. And then that's when people start to try to, infiltrate and try to divide and conquer and try to cause disruption, right? And so they thought at first that Mel and Martell breaking up was going to be good for them. Because they thought that they could just drag Mel, and that Mel would be the one that, was going to be alone and was going to be broke and all these things. But Mel was the connect. Mel had all the connections. Mel had all the relationships. And, they're pissed because Mel, backed out of the comeback group. She backed out of, that big, I think it was that, a big property deal that they were all supposed to be like millionaires off of or whatever. They were mad at Mel about that. I think that they're mad at Mel too about her having the deal with Nubian TV and having basically her own network and her putting out her own type of programming and all these things. And I think they're pissed because that could have been them. They could have been a part of all of these opportunities if they, got rid of the hatred and the jealousy and the caping for Martell. And that also is something else that I wanted to discuss as well. It is this need to rewrite history with Martell and present him as if he is this distinguished gentleman and that he can do no wrong and that he is like the pillar of perfection and just misunderstood. And the way the cast goes up for him is just completely and utterly disgusting. But it's like people think that everybody's just going to be oblivious to it and nobody's going to call it out. And nobody is going to expose, hey, this is somebody who is convicted of revenge P and the third degree DV harassment, and we need to talk about it. But you're presenting this image on the show as if Martell was wrongfully arrested, Martell is wrongfully accused, Martell is wrongfully all of these things, and it's tanking the show. It tanks everything because it's like, why are we going this route? But then the cast only decided to switch up, sort of, once the backlash came in. Then it was like, oh, no, we aren't supporting that, right? But you supported everything else. You supported the cheating. You supported the mistress being around. You supported the Atlanta activities, the alleged Airbnb activities, the alleged linepacker activities. All of that was okay, right? All of that was fine, right? But you draw the line all of a sudden when it... But I don't even know if I would even go as far as the arrest now that I'm thinking about it, because Marceau still gave a statement to the press that was like, hey, I'm praying for him, he's my brother. I think the switch up really happened whenever they filmed the scene where Martell was throwing Tisha under the bus and alleging Tisha might be doing something on the side. I think then that's when Marceau was like, whoa, right? Because whatever is true or not true about that, he doesn't want that out there, right? But it's okay for people to joke about him, allegedly, whatever, right? And then Martell making the comment that basically they were hooking up with women together, him and Marceau, also putting that allegation out there, right? But even with all that being said, who is still defending Martell when it's all said and done? None other than Carlos King, you guys. None other than Carlos King. So in the end, what is the end game, right? What is the end game of this? Where do we go from here, you guys? So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.